sucker.
The news items that broke, I guess, regarding the show on Saturday was a familiar face, somebody who you know, a guy who's held it down for Ring of Honor for quite some time. Jay Lethal is all elite. He came out on the show and said that he signed his AEW contract. It looks like it's going to be him and Sammy Guevara moving forward. In a post-match press conference, he was asked about his Ring of Honor status. He said, look, I'm loyal. I was with Ring of Honor for 10 years. I didn't want to leave. I'm loyal until the doors close, and the doors are closing. The company's going to wrap up, according to him. You know, I know there's things about they're coming back, but according to him, it's all said and done. And when he realized that, he asked for his release for the contract, so he won't be at Ring of Honor Final Battle. And he said, I'm starting a new home at AEW, and I'm going to be here until these doors close. What do you think about Jay Lethal being in AEW?
You know what? Jay Lethal, he's a soldier, bro. I've got a chance to work with Jay Lethal in TNA. And he's always been a guy that I must say that loved this business. More than anybody I've ever seen, Jay Lethal loves this business. He loved working for that company. But you know, like you say, man, when the doors closed, they sent him a letter and said his contract's void. It's like any athlete, man. You got to look for work, and you got to do it quick because those little notes that come in the mailbox, they call bills. They keep coming. You know, whether you working for somebody or not, you know what I mean? If you got a mortgage, if you got, you know, a car note, you got, you know, a light bill, and you got kids.
For sure.
You got a wife that could want to get the hair and nails done on a weekly, man, you better have a job. So Jay Lethal say, look, man, AEW opened the doors, and he stepped right in there, and I'm glad for him. I'm glad to see Jay Lethal finally take that next step past ROH, because I always thought Jay Lethal should be, you know, somewhere working, you know, prime time, just because of, there again, the loyalty that he has given to this business, man. So yeah, get a man a break.
I think that Jay Lethal's always been a great talent. Of course, I first became aware of him in his TNA wrestling days when he was what was it? Black Machismo.
Yeah.
And still to this day, whenever I see that promo of him and Ric Flair having a woo off in the center of the ring, I don't know if you remember that one, Book, but Jay Lethal also did a Ric Flair impression that was, I mean, to say spot on would not even be doing it justice. He's the only guy I've ever heard do a Ric Flair impression, and he kills it. So that's when I first remember Jay Lethal. And then when you watch his matches, the guy obviously is super talented inside the ring. And I hate to say this, but to the average wrestling fan, and I remember Rob Van Dam talking about this, if you were wrestling majority in Impact or a Ring of Honor, the casual quote-unquote wrestling fan, you know, who might watch WWE or WCW back in the day, they don't know that you're even around anymore, right? I remember Rob Van Dam talking about when he was in TNA, he'd get stopped in the airport and say, so, hey, when'd you retire from wrestling? He's like, what do you mean? I'm on the way to a show. I'm on the way to a show right now.
he's not the only guy that happened to.
Right. Okay.
I would be in the town, you know what I mean? Go to Subway or something, get a bite. You know, people go crazy, man. Booker T's in the house, man. Can we get photos? You know what I mean? Yeah, man. What are you doing here, man? And the arena is literally 3 blocks away. And they would not know
it. What are you doing here?
I swear, man. The one time that got me though in TNA when we were overseas, and I remember it was Mick Foley and we were talking, and we were like, man, those cars coming in like crazy, man. Me and Mick, we looked at each other like, man, this show is gonna be crazy tonight, man. It's gonna be an awesome show, you know. So I go back in the building, you know, get myself together, you know, get dressed and whatnot. And then I go out in the arena and I look at the arena, there's probably like about 400 people out there, right? In this huge arena. And then all of a sudden I hear these people going, hey, ole, 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 ole. And it's a soccer match right next door. I was so damn mad.
We were like, no one's coming to this arena. Let's use their parking lot.
Who booked this show? Right next to the soccer arena that was so loud. Because you can hear them saying ole, ole in the arena as you're working.
Oh
I don't
man.
know who won that night.
You know, I was talking about Jay Lethal, but one more story like that. You remember when we did the very first Summer of Champions in Humble,
Yep,
at the Humble Civic Center?
yep.
You remember what was booked right next door at the same time? Remember they split the room in half. I don't know if you remember this. So they it's a big convention center, and they had a kind of partition wall that they had up, right? So we had maybe 1,200 people in there, 1,100, 1,200 people for Summer of Champions. On the other side of the wall, they booked a wedding.
I didn't even know that, man.
You didn't know this?
No, I
So there were people, I can't believe you don't remember this. There were people from the wedding party coming over asking if we could keep it down. Meanwhile, we got a steel cage match in the main event. You know what I mean? And people jumping off cages and making noises. And here it is, these people's biggest day of their lives that they'll never forget.
God,
They booked a wrestling show next door.
That's the way the old mob flops sometime, bro.
But I think, to go back to Jay Lethal, this is such a great move for him. So many more people are going to get exposed to Jay Lethal than ever got exposed to him in Ring of Honor for the last 10 years. And all due respect to them, but AEW has a much bigger audience at this point. And for Jay Lethal to come in at this time when he's now got to be, I mean, what, 17 years in the business? Something like that?
Close. He's getting closer to 20-year tenure.
He's got to be close to that. So this is a great moment while he's still in his prime, or even the back half of his prime, to show the world what Jay Lethal can do. I wish him nothing but the best. I think it's a great move for him.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
More than anything, it's a great story. The good guy, weathered the storm, and at the end of the day, he got a shot. And hopefully, get a chance to show the world how good he really is, because I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't nobody better than Jay Lethal. The guy can go out and work with anybody in the world. And that right there is the mark of a true worker. And the thing is, I just said, ain't nobody better than Jay Lethal. That doesn't mean that Jay Lethal is better than everybody out there. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, this is a guy that knows exactly what that square circle means, and he can work with the best of them. And when that guy walk away, he's gonna say, "Man, he was pretty good." And that's the mark of a great worker. So I'm glad to see him get a shot. What's up, this Booker T, two-time Hall of Famer. I know you're checking out the Shine, checking out the Gloss. I want to thank you guys for checking out Row on YouTube. Hey, don't forget to click and subscribe to check out all the latest content right here each and every week. Now, can you dig that, sucker?